All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I'm going to cover three on this one. I want to look at FFAI, as you see on the screen, UAVS, and I also want to take a look at BBAI. All right, real quick, I don't think I'm going to have time for them, but just I think it's worth showing. Dude, there's a little bit of a lag here. A little annoying. Sorry about that. So DDD is setting up very interestingly. You can see it's all about the 50 moving average, so keep that one in the back of your head. And then HIMS looks like it's retesting the golden line and trying to break for all-time highs. Both of them had some pretty good lower indicators down there. So I thought those were at least well worth calling out. But like I said, we'll take care of the three that we're going to talk about. FFAI, we've been covering this for a bit now, and it actually hit that 190 target we talked about on this Thursday, right? You can see that it wicked 195, but clearly I want more. Clearly it's less about that 190 number and all about that 200 line. You can see it in purple right there. And then as I zoom out, I mean, this has been a difficult line to say the least, right? So I'll talk about that a lot, but hey, there is still a really good attempt here, right? We're obviously struggling with one of these lines that I draw manually. There's obviously the moving average, but hey, MACD's looking good, RSI not bad, and actually volume's been holding pretty well. So still worth watching we're still worth having eyes on this, excuse me. UAVS is the second one. So this one's about the 100 moving average, right? The blue line as you see here. This one was interesting because this one had some real news, something to do with drones. And you know, the volume came, it popped and dumped, volume came, it popped and dumped. This time it's a little more sustained, right? And I like that 1, 2, 3 growth right there. It's nothing crazy. And really, these are nice attempts at that 100. Obviously, we're over it now. Just give me some confirmation and some really good things can happen here, all right? And then, man, I keep saying BBAI keeps annoying me, keeps annoying me. One more time, we have another one about the 100 moving average. Testing and testing and testing and testing and testing and all these testings. One more time, we get another good test here. I like the candle. You can see the high of the day was 414, close of the day was 414. You know, I mean, it's another decent test, right? And it's all about really this line right here, that 453 that I drew. But obviously, it really is about the 100 moving average, right? So that's the 1, 2, 3 I want to cover really quickly. Lovely NASDAQ day today. You know, it's a short week this week, right? We have Juneteenth on Thursday. That's a federal holiday. Generally speaking, when you're coming into short weeks, I'm not expecting a big. This is a big number. I know it looks like a small 1 point whatever, but that's a significant 5x the normal number of an index, right? You often hear me say an index should be up or down like zero point 0.3, right? 5x of that is that 1.5 that we see here, right? So that's a really, really big candle. That's a lovely bounce, right? 8 and the 20, right? You can slip under the 8, not for too long, hopefully, and then you're going to get the 20 to bounce you right back over. That's exactly what we saw right there on that 1, 2, right? So really liking the NASDAQ. Same exact thing on the S&P 500. I actually didn't look at it today. What does Dow Jones look like? Little noisier than we like. Obviously, we want all three of them to escape all the moving averages. We saw NASDAQ and S&P 500 over them all. This is just a real tight cluster of four right here, right? But hey, all of these are tech-heavy stocks that we're looking at right now. So as long as NASDAQ and S&P 500 look good, you know I'm generally happy and you know that's the baseline for all this, right? So before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself, excuse me. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I'm so grateful for it. All right, so FFAI. Look, we actually started covering this a while ago, right? If I had to guess, it was probably somewhere in this 2-week range. Look, you hear me say it all the time. When you got a good channel, and a channel is nothing more than the spacing between two lines, this one happened to be the 100 and the 200, when you're all the way down here, and then the next thing is all the way up there. And in that path from down here to up here, when it's nothing but just red, 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 green, 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 red, 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 nothing, 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 you can get beautiful green, green, greens like we saw right there, right? From there, you can see the 8 and the 20 are just working their way on up, golden crossing that 100 moving average. I mean, there's a lot to like so far, all right? Now, these five are in order of difficulty, and the 200 moving average is the last one. It is the hardest one. And I mean, just looking at the history of this stock, right? Let's just keep going back. My goodness, keep going back. The last time we were remotely over it was back in July of 2022. All right. And really, that's not even good over it, right? That's a little, you can arguably say this stock has never been over that 200 moving average line well. Right, I'm not going to zoom in right here, but yeah, there's a lot of difficulty with this line. All right, really quickly, I said it last time, I'm going to say it again. Yo, please do not look at this stock, think to yourself, it's been up here at 95,000, it's been up here at 50, it's been up here at 2,000. No, this is a dollar something stock, and we got to keep our expectations in check. Really, these are the only lines I care about at the moment, and it's all going to start with that 200 moving average. Again, in the entirety of the stock's life, it's never been over it well. So you got to come in with a little bit of just honest reality of what it is. But I'll tell you, I'm liking this attempt. I am, right? Our MACD is positive. That's a real nice green over red. RSI is actually very healthy at 66. And really what I'm liking is this volume down here. You can see it. I mean, we've basically struggled to get over that 50-day line, right? You can see, I mean, basically back since early 25, right? Since the beginning of the year, we've pretty much been under that line, right? It's been a really strong week. Last week, we were basically at or over that line the entirety of the week, and we're starting it off really well today, right? So all about volume, all about the 200 moving average. Look, I think if we can get around 21 million shares, that's going to be more than today and kind of the average of the last week in terms of the high side. If we can get 21 million shares, that might be what pushes this over that 200 line. So roughly speaking, we want 3 million shares, right? Because there's a 7-hour trading day, right? If I had to put a money line, it's going to be a little hard to put a money line because there's nothing but, that's just too high. Let's see if the hourly can give me a good candle to use. Oh, interesting. What's yours? 178. Where does 178 look like? It's hard to put a money line here because obviously there's just nothing but reds and greens, right? So in a lot of ways, I think it's going to be up to your risk tolerance. The line itself is at 180, and we just saw that was the hourly resistance, right? So maybe somewhere around 190, give or take, 185, give or, again, whatever your risk reward is. But you break the 200, my next expectation actually is 340, right? Maybe there'll be a little bit of a resistance at 230, but I don't think it's worth drawing in all honesty, right? So Luke asked this on the Discord. He said, hey, what am I okay with on FFAI? I think 150 is the number. As long as this is over 150, I'm okay with that. If you lose that, you're probably going to drop to 130, give or take, right? Just I actually don't want to lose the 8 moving average. It's really that simple on this thing, right? When you look at the weekly, I mean, this isn't a bad weekly, and that weekly is still echoing that 340 line, right? We're not beautifully over it, but hey, this is the first time over the 8 and the 20 in a good while, and the 50's all the way up there. We just talked about good channels on the daily. That's a good channel on the weekly, right? So as long as this stays over 150, I think there's a lot to like, and there's a very real 340 target. It is all about breaking that 180 line, which is the 200 moving average right now. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. UAVS is the next one I want to look at. Again, we've been talking about this one on the Discord for a bit. There is a free link to the Discord in the YouTube comments. All right. So what happened here? There was actually some news here, and I'm assuming the news came on this day because obviously you can see we were just nowhere with volume. All of a sudden we pop and are doing significantly better than we have all of June, right? So there was some real news. It was something to do with their drone technology. I think it was a military contract, but truth be told, we've looked at a lot of tickers, and my wife has taken all my attention, so I'm not 1,000% here. But what I like is two things. Number one, we're riding that volume. I mean, sorry, that the second thing's volume. We're riding that 8 moving average really, really well, right? Obviously, I'll talk about the 100 moving average in a second, but yeah, we popped on good news, couldn't quite break, but we bounce, and we continue to bounce on that 8 moving average really beautifully. From there, like I said, it's volume, and I said it in the opening thoughts, right? We initially pump, and then I would call that a dump. We try again, and I would really call that a dump again, right? I don't want to go from over 20 to below 10, right? That's a what, roughly 80% drop of volume down there. I like these last 3 days. I do. Today was better than Friday. Friday was better than Thursday, and that looks like a nice sustainable growth right there. I think if we can see something around 14 million tomorrow, or basically 2 million shares per hour, oh, that could do some really, really good things on UAVS here. All right. My next lines are really high up. I should probably, let me delete all those lines. I don't know why those are drawn like that. Dun, 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 dun. Excuse me. Dun, 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 dun. Cool. Oh my gosh. Sorry. All right. That's annoying. There's a couple things that just really annoy me, and this is one of them. Sorry. So let's draw some good lines. I'm gonna delete all of those. So my first expectation will probably be somewhere around there. It's probably just a little too high. What's your bottom? Okay, this is the money line. If you break 173, I think there's a real good chance that you're going to run to 380. All right. Obviously, there's something right there around 240. And then there's something again around 3. But you break the 100, you have a good shot of going to the 200. That's a beautiful channel with just red, 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 green, 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 red, red, red. There's a lot to love over 173. All right. From there, yeah, as long as we don't lose 130, I think there's going to be a lot to like on UAVS. Again, I oftentimes you'll hear and you'll see good news. For whatever reason, that's not what drives it and sustains it. But hey, as long as you don't lose key lines, as long as you're a little patient, that's what this stock looks like to me right now, right? So well worth your eyes tomorrow. Watch that money line. Let's just not lose that 130 range. If we lose 130, we'll probably drop near that dollar range, give or take. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Hey, last one on this is DDD. I can't keep. Oh no, it's not DDD. But hey, keep an eye on DDD. I do like DDD. BBAI. It's BBAI on this one. All right. So, again, a big battle with that 100 moving average. Really, there's not a lot of new thoughts here since my last BBAI coverage, right? But this is what stocking a stock looks like, right? I'm just waiting for this thing to break that 100 moving average. To me, that line is going to be 450. You break 450, green, 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 red, 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 nothing, nothing, nothing could bring a lot of niceness here, right? Look, you know me, I don't pretend to know the math behind these lines. I have no idea why the green line's going down here and up here, right? I really don't. I think it's all about up here anyways, and I can kind of ignore these two. It has to get over 450. 453 is physically what my line is right there, right? Otherwise, we're just kind of stuck in too many moving averages, and it's just a waiting game until it happens, right? NASDAQ looks good. This should be doing better, right? It's just, you hear me say it all the time, when 3 or more moving averages are just too close to each other, it's no longer up to the stock. Like the ticker is no longer in control. The lines are in control, and it just keeps you here. It spits you up and down like a tornado. It's really frustrating, but hey, once we get over that, it'll be good. Horrible things will happen if we lose all 5, right? But for now, I don't think we need to talk about that. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you so much.